Hi everyone, it's great to see you. Today we are having the fun of making 3 of our outdoor planters by the front door look a little bit more fallish, and we're going to do that with these beautiful plants. So let me tell you about these. These are 2 types of Rudbeckia. Now Rudbeckia covers, there are both annual and perennial Rudbeckia, and then the Rudbeckia classification covers those flowers that are black-eyed Susan-like. I would say that these are along that. They have a dark brown or black center with the yellow petals around them. They also can cover the echinacea too, your cone flowers, which are beautiful, and cone flowers can come in tons of different colors. But I'm really excited about these. So let me tell you the difference between these 2 plants. This is a perennial Rudbeckia. Now, yes, right now, of course, you're going to say, well, that one's so beautiful. It's prettier than that one. It is, because it's in full bloom. But this one has a ton of buds coming, and it's really going to be gorgeous too. But this is the perennial type. This is an annual type. So you have to be thinking, like, where are you planting these? What's going to be best for you? They're both going to give a beautiful show of flowers. And they do keep sending up buds. So here's a little one coming along, which is great, but you are going to get one primary big batch of flowers, and they last a pretty long time. But if you're going for as long a color as possible, you're probably going to want to buy one that's just breaking bud, just starting here, because that means I get all the color while they're in my yard, whereas this one, as beautiful as it is, the people at the nursery got to see a lot of this color before it got to my yard. Now this one, it's a certain variety. Let me tell you what it is. It is Minibeckia Flame. So the variety has sort of this brown eye that encircles the petal here. As a perennial type, I'm going to be putting this in my side garden. I want to give it the next couple months to root into the ground strongly so that those roots survive through the winter. That's the difference between your perennial and your annual. Your roots survive a harsh winter climate, where your annual, it's not. So if I were to put this in a planter and then last minute in October dug a hole and stuck it in the ground, it might live, but it really hasn't had time to adjust to the ground, to send out deeper roots. So there's less of a chance that it'll do well. Now, the annual ones give you a great show of color. And if you're just interested in putting them in a planter, having them do their thing for a short time in the fall, this might be the way to go. And I'm using 3 of this annual variety. Let me tell you what kind it is exactly. This is Sunspot Yellow Bicolor. And it really looks a lot like the perennial in that the bicolor has that brown center to it. Beautiful. But the other thing you have to take into consideration is that your annual costs about half as much as a perennial. So that had to weigh on my decision too. I knew these were going in pots just for this season, half the price of this one. I'm going to put this in my planters, this directly in the ground. Now let me show you the planters that we're going to be updating. So we're going to start with this bag in the pot I have 3 of these planters that line our driveway in the front with this great obelisk. I am still loving the fairy lights, and the fairy lights, believe it or not, I'm not sure where the solar panel is in here anymore, but it must be getting enough sun because they're lighting up every night. I can tell that we might have some budworms here. I haven't sprayed these. You think I would have learned by now. So after this, I'm going to come and give it a good spray for budworms. But boy, this tiara blue petunia has done really well. I love it. I love the obelisk. So I don't want to move that. This is what's in the center. This is a type of mandevilla, and this is one of the new ones that I got a hold of that's bicolor. And I have to say I'm a little disappointed. I mean, these flowers are beautiful, But I was really thinking that by this time of year, it would just be covered with the mandevilla vine, and we have a little, and it's just starting. So that's okay. I am ready, however, to lift that center bag out and put our Rudbeckia in the center. And this, of course, I'm going to put somewhere else in the garden. It's only an annual here, so it doesn't have that much longer with us, but it will be just fine. And this is the joy of the bag in the pot, because look at that. How easy to now move this somewhere else, make this a beautiful centerpiece, and we'll just be all set. Now there's a couple options. If this pot fits my socket pot here, I can just drop it in. I don't think it's going to, but I'm going to give it a try. Okay, otherwise we're going to do some surgery on the plant to make it fit. Oh, I think we look at that. Oh my goodness. How beautiful. And I love that that flower's peeking out the front. So we still have our cascading tiara blue petunias, which are still going strong. And now we'll have this bright, beautiful yellow flower in the center. Oh, and I didn't even damage the obelisk. Let's see if I can get as lucky with the other two. So this is our middle bag in the pot, and our centerpiece for this was a pink, a rose-colored thumbergonium. It's a sunflower vine. And boy, the vine did really well. I mean, it's everywhere. It's over here. One flower. And that flower was there like when I put it in. And I haven't had one flower since. And I really was looking forward to this. Now, there is a reason that this one might not have bloomed and that the other mandevilla might not have bloomed. Mandevilla, and I believe this sunflower vine too, really like to dry out, but the petunias don't. Now my plan was, center pot. I can keep one on the drier side, one on the wetter side. I was lazy and I just, sprayed them with water. They got a lot of water, and if they have a lot of nitrogen and a lot of water, and this is good potting mix, so it had a lot of nitrogen in it, they'll send out lots of leaves, but they tend to not flower as well. So basically I should have made life more difficult for these vines, and they probably would have wanted to go to seed because they didn't think that they were going to live the good life the rest of their lives. Oh well, and then one time in the season, this whole thing tipped over. Once again, my fault, because the hose got caught on the pot. And I know that these fairy lights here, the strand must have broken at some point, because I have a couple of these spokes being lit up and some that are not. So that needs to be replaced too. So boy, this one really needs to be redone. So let's see what I can do here. The first thing I'm going to do is we have to get the sunflower vine just like off of this a bit. And yes, I'll still put it somewhere else, don't worry, but it's not flowering here. Maybe it'll make it feel like flowering once I sort of cut it off and move it elsewhere. I would love to have it bloom for the rest of the season. That would be great. Let's see if we can just pull that center bag out. Here we go. Okay. One sunflower vine, and I think it's going to give me a lot of trouble here. We're just gonna snip it. Okay, there we go. Then we have a big old mess. Here we go. We're gonna try to lift this out. Oh yeah, there we go. And I'm pulling the petunias with me. Oh my goodness. There's a petunia. Everything's coming with it. It's like wrestling. Okay. This is where I tell everybody, look away for a minute. It'll look better in a second. Okay. Do not panic if this happens to you. This is all fixable. Wow, hard to believe that this was only 3 little plants, which now I gotta find out where they all pulled out to. And they really grew every which direction. Okay, here's another one. And we're gonna pop these in and give them a good watering. Think of this like when people prune their petunias, and they'll prune them pretty hard. I didn't do that for these, but we'll just say this was a little extra pruning. There we go. And there's some of the vine here. I also have some of the creeping Jenny that I had planted in here. Creeping Jenny will root easily, so I'm gonna take these pieces that broke off. I'm gonna stick them in here. And then, like all good gardeners, I'm going to turn the better side out so that those people who are walking by will not know what just happened here. Okay. Now, oops. Don't look. Oh my. I knew this was going to be a tricky one. I might have to get a landscape pin and see if we can pin that in. Okay. Now, I'm also going to clean out the center of this a bit. There's some dirt in the bottom. There we go. Looking a little better. Let me tip and show you. You can see our socket pot in there. So this is the nursery pot that's keeping this soil separate, and that we can just layer something else in. Let me grab the Rudbeckia. And look at how easy this is. We just slide it in. Oh, already I'm feeling better. Little mess on the ground. But once I get my obelisk up here with those beautiful little sparkling fairy lights, no one will know what happened. Let's take a look at our last planter. Okay, so here we are for our last bag in a pot in a pot. And in the center of this one, there is one blossom here. Can you see that? It's kind of sad. This is a double. I'm going to pluck it off. This was a double mandevilla. It has had maybe 1 or 2 blossoms. It does have a couple buds on it. Here they are, coming, and that's it. So maybe, once again, too moist here, too much fertilizer, keeping it happy. I don't know, but I wasn't thrilled with it. Thrilled when it did bloom. I mean, they're very pretty, but didn't give me the show that I really wanted. So let's take that out. Look at how easy that is. Love that. And everything. See, if you can do it the right way and keep your obelisk here and everything, this is a piece of cake. Here we go. I'm going to tip it towards you so you can see. I don't know if you can. There's so much growth around it, but there's that socket pot in there, our nursery pot. And here is our Rudbeckia, which we're just going to be able to nicely drop in here. Now, Rudbeckia, like your mums, like a lot of moisture. So it's going to be important to keep these watered every day. If they dry out, you're going to find that this flush of flowers dies quickly, and because it's an annual, that was really it. So we want to keep this nice and moist to get this beautiful display of yellow flowers. love how these look and that we are moving into fall. It is going to be gorgeous, and I'll keep you posted on how they bloom. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.